Now, another budget-related story, one which is making some people very angry indeed. The contaminated blood scandal of the 1970s and 80s left tens of thousands of people infected with HIV and hepatitis C. The cost of compensation is vast, somewhere between 10 and 20 billion pounds. But the final report on all of this won't be finalised until after the budget. And that delay means these huge payments will not be part of its economic forecasts, which in turn leaves more space for, yes, you guessed it, tax cuts. Tony Farrugia has lost 4 members of his family to the infected blood scandal, and he was put in care after his father's death and separated from all of his siblings, including his twin brother. He joins me now. Tony, very good to see you there. How do you react to the news that this may have been put off to allow the government more space for tax cuts?
I actually think it's disgraceful. We've had so much harm heaped on us with the infections and the lie over the last 4 decades, and now we have Jeremy Hunt, who sat at the inquiry and said that governments hide behind a lie and that this was all wrong. He wrote to the Chancellor of the Exchequer, who was Rishi Sunak at the time before he took the post, to say, get on with it. And now he's in power, and for it to be delayed at the reports coming out after the defeat in the House of, in the Victims and Prisoners Bill just before Christmas, a press report was leaked out then that exactly what you've just said is that they were going to delay this to do tax cuts. It's disgraceful. People are dying. 1 every 4 days. They really need to get on with this.
Is it possible that this delay is not conspiracy, but something that has simply arrived conveniently for the Chancellor of the Exchequer, that is not a kind of plot, it's just happened this way?
Even if it's just happened this way, it is compelling the harm on these victims, and some of them are terminally ill with cancer and may not survive till the end to even see the report, let alone compensation. I think the least the government could do now is announce what this package will mean and how it will be distributed between the victims and the infected, of who would actually be included in this scheme. They have everything they need. They've had the report from the framework that they set up from Sir Robert Francis since March of 22, and the final report from, not the final report, an interim report from Sir Brian Langstaff on a final compensation. And he agreed with Sir Robert Francis on the framework that the government have had since March 22. And despite Diana Johnson and many other backbench MPs supporting us, it's falling on deaf ears and causing immense harm.
Tony, well, thank you very much indeed. I hope people are listening from the government and that they have heard you loud and clear, and I hope you get compensation as soon as you possibly can.